Hello and welcome back to the Druidic Stormcloud channel where I will be playing Final Fantasy XIV. Instead of continuing with the main quest, which I'll try and get through that dungeon this weekend, I suppose, I'm going to be stepping back and continuing with the classes that were decided upon in poll. Today, we're going to be going through the Warrior class. That is to say, we are going to be doing the Marauders Guild quest. And I had to double check real quick to make sure that audio was carrying over. So, without further ado, we're going to hop over to the appropriate scene. And we're going to begin. As soon as my Chromebook decides it wants to actually work. I'm procrastinating moving all my tabs over. But let's go. What kind of voice should I give these people? Aye, you cut a striking figure, Kiara. But heroic posing is unlikely to cut a swath through your enemies. You stand now as a student of the axe. Let us waste no time in testing the edge of your chosen weapon. We shall wade straightways into combat as befits a novice of our discipline. Go forth and slay the bleating, scurrying, crawling pests that plague the outskirts of Lima Lamosa. Lost lambs, wharf rats, and little ladybugs shall be your piteous adversaries this day. Return to me once 3 of each creature have fallen to your blade. Yes, this is the exact same as was previously done. Okay, that's one type down. I mean, how could I resist doing that one in that situation? Same here, I suppose. And now we go over here for the lambs. A level 1 NPC. That worries me. And there we go. Drink coffee. Here we go, here we go. You give the Blue Mage quest. Ethernet. Marauder. Your return to me, a different woman. Already your face shows a harder cast. A realization that the slaughter of which you're capable of. But there's much training to be done before you will wield the axe to its fullest potential. Learn well your lessons, build your strength, and make of each swing an instinctive act. Every blow of your weapon will clear another step towards the mastery of the Marauder way. Implacable, relentless, such must be your momentum on both the practice grounds and the battlefield. Kara, you approach me with the Marauder's strides, determined, unswavering, and bereft of the hesitation that marked our first meeting. I am pleased. The time has come for you to begin a new stage in your training. Now, what sets the axe aside from the gladius or the dagger? It's the raw, unstoppable destruction wrought by its thick, heavy blade. And that overwhelming power can only be properly directed by an extraordinary physical strength. Thus, we come to the core of today's lesson. Such strength as a Marauder must possess is developed through a traditional method passed down through the generations of the guild. A method that you, too, shall be taught to employ. Present yourself to Bronabar in the practice area downstairs, and he shall instruct you further. I wonder if they had separate teams completely working on each of the quest lines for the different class or jobs. Classes and jobs. Classes first, job crystals after. The Axe-Master told me you'd be on your way. My name is Bronabar. Good it is to meet a new Marauder. Now, we axe wielders build strength and control by splitting boulders. That's right, our traditional method involves smashing a rock with your axe. But you can't use just any old swing. You need to hit the rock just so. Rottingham, a fellow Marauder, is waiting just outside of the Zephyr Gate by the bridge over by the Rogue River. She'll tell you how it's done. I give each of these characters voices in these. Zephyr Gate, the bridge, this way? Okay. I need to set that up. Wait. I need to go to General. There we go. Mount Roulette. Minion Roulette. Speaking of, we need to go ahead and roulette our minion. The bomb. A Marauder on a unicorn. As if that isn't a strange sight. Greetings, lass. Ready to split some stone, are you? I've 30 nice hard rocks for you to build up a sweat on. Don't try nothing fancy now, just hit him with a good solid heavy swing. That's the way of it, lass. Now you've got an idea why you don't have at him a little harder with that heavy swing of yours. Hold nothing back. Hey, I can see you're unnatural. Your head's still ringing with the sound of cracking boulders. Take yourself back to the Axe-Master Wiseman and tell him you know, and let him know you're ready for something harder. As you level up, some quests become seriously easy. And that's where the fact of level sync comes into play. They will lower you back down, but at the same time, you're used to playing as that class, assumedly, and even with your gear leveled back down to an appropriate level, has the training loosened your muscles and focused your mind, Kiara? An urgent request for help has arrived from the Red Rooster Stade, and I have chosen you to respond. It appears a hostile group of megalocrabs has unwittingly elected itself the next test of your prowess. As this is your first outing in official Marauder duty, you shall be accompanied by a veteran conjurer by the name of Solquib. She awaits you on the floor below. May devastation follow in your wake. Okay, so we have to go downstairs and meet our conjurer. Hello, healer. Hi, Kiara. I know who you are. My brother often has me escort his fledgling marauders on their more dangerous tasks. I suppose Winthrone expects me to give you the details then. Very well. It seems the farmers need us to clear out a megalocrab nest near the Morning Widow in Lower Lenoska. I shall trust you to find your way there. Just don't forget your axe. I mean this one on my back. You know, I could have put Dumerbella in Final Fantasy XIV. Crabs and toads and crabs and toads and crabs and toads. Looks as if nobody's home. Mayhap they knew we were coming. Aid! I need aid! Please, it's my grandson. Them snipers have got him. I told Sighard not to get too close. I told him. Get that weapon ready, Kiara. We need to move now. Oh, level 9. What all did I have at that point? Ah, bugger and shit, get away from me! You bloody great bastard! Yeah, you get away from there. Hey, we have another Marauder with us. There we go. First try too. Thank you, miss. I thought I was dead for sure. Can't even play outside no more. Well, with all these scary monsters about. Me ma and me dad, they was both killed by some nasty bugger not so long ago. An aurochs, big as a mountain. But I bet you could beat it. Aye, make it pay for what it did to me folks. You take it now, easy now, son. There's a whole guild full of strapping lads and lasses like Kiara here who'll be glad to do just that. All you need to do is head home with your grandpa. You let us worry about that nasty bugger. Consider your first duty a success, Kiara. It's time you headed back as well, before Wensrin begins to worry I've left your corpse out for the crabs. Just that way, okay. And here we go. Sorry. I will be doing the seasonal quest as well as soon as stream is over. I need to go to Britannia for that. So you have shattered the shells of the megalocrabs and saved the life of a child into the bargain. Thus does our violent craft prove its merit. Well done, Kiara. Though no longer a threat to the farmers, you should know that it is unusual for such crabs to be found near this stead. By all accounts, the creatures were outside from their usual feeding grounds. By all accounts, the creatures were ousted from their usual feeding grounds by a more ferocious beast. The beast of which I speak is a known terror of the lands of Lenoska, ever seeking to expand its territory. And that boy's parents were but two of the many victims to fall to its rampages. It is a threat that must be dealt with ere long. Thoughts of vengeance flit through your mind, Kira. Nurture those urges, but do not act upon them. This monstrosity is far beyond your present skills. If you would answer the lad's cry for vengeance, then you must grow stronger. Become the raging behemoth that this challenge demands. You mean my current level? Kiara, I have gathered what information I could concerning the beast that young Sigurd bade you slay. The tales name this creature as Kujata. Those who have witnessed Kujata in a terrifying flesh also call him the Stampeding Mountain. Such is his immense size and bulk. Again, I will not seek to dissuade you from claiming vengeance for the boy's parents. In fact, I encourage it. But toppling this lumbering colossus, you must first become his equal in strength and ferocity. As a single step towards that distinct goal, I send you to Blind Iron Mines. We have had word that the folk are falling prey to the claws of the local Galagos. It's your task to protect the weak from these unruly creatures. Learn to channel the rage inside you, and let your axe sing in the righteous slaughter. While this is 100% being terrible to my throat, I couldn't think of a better voice for him. And let's be honest, it is a good voice for that guy, isn't it? Something about a Marauder and a Death Claw. Kinda makes sense, doesn't it? We're not in a Reaper. Death Claw is a different thing entirely. Welcome back, Kiara. Your actions have saved many from needless injury and anguish. One moment. But though your efforts are to be commended, there is yet much work to be done. Kujata, the objective of your vengeance, has trampled a farmer's wagon as he thundered through the lands of Tiller's Rest. The foodstuffs spilled from the overturned wagon have attracted all manner of hungry predators. Without produce for the market, the farmers will surely suffer for coin this season. Your duty is thus clear. Put down these rapacious scavengers and preserve the cargo. Yeah, it's here. Okay. Had to check. Oh, I don't have that up because of when I was level synced. Alright, and we return. Here we go. And yes, I do have return queued up for here. Guildmaster, I'm back. Once again, your capacity for carnage has been tested and proven. The creatures you defeated, however, were merely some of the many base scavengers that subsist on the scraps left in the wake of Kujata's rampages. To face Kujata's Kujata himself, you yet require far more training. But do not despair, Kiara. As Axemaster and fellow Marauder, this I swear, I will not rest until I have taught you how to wring every last ounce of power from your weapon, till the blade of your axe can cleanly slice through the thickest hide, the most knotted muscle, the densest bone. This menace will fall by your hand. His voice is tough. Tomahawk. Ranged attack. Yay. I see you've been diligent in your training. You need not tell me in words, it shows in your bearing, in your unwavering gaze. It is time for you to once more lift your axe in service to the guild. There have been reports of a sizable creature roaming the outskirts of Aleport in western Lanoska. The monster is no Kujata, but the threat it presents to the locals is nonetheless sufficient to warrant our attention. It should also prove a worthy foe to test your burgeoning powers on, or prowess. How to find the beast? Well, I am fortunate enough to count among my acquaintances a veteran hunter and archer by the name of Rainfried. He took up residence in Aleport some years ago, and will gladly aid you in the task. With Rainfried's assistance, you are to track down this prowling danger and provide its swift and bloody passage to the afterlife. May your axe swing true. Why did I choose this voice for him? Aleport is in western? I think it's western. Yeah. Well, we have flight, so this is good. This is fine. Now this is a fitting mount for a warrior. That's an alpaca. Okay, so where here are you? Aleport. There. Okay. Okay, so down. Not you. Ah, you. One of Odin's runes, girls, eh? Why, I've known that brat since he was a knee-high to a... well, he was always a big fella, was Windsrun. And now they call him Axe Master, eh? Not a subtle lot, you marauders. So I suppose you're here to hunt down our local trouble. What you need to do then is take yourself northwest of here towards Camp Skull Valley. And give a good whistle. I mean, bugger you're after. His name's... I'm not saying that. By the by, we'll come running across the Weedland Plains. He'll think you're trespassing on his territory, see? So you better have that cleaver of yours ready. Osran's blessing be upon you. Named monsters, yay. Oh yeah, I can grab up the hard difficulty dungeon for this, if I haven't already unlocked it. I think I've unlocked it. Yeah. Looks like I have. Okay. Just haven't done it yet. Means we go here. There we go. Alright, and now we go back to the Marauders Guild. So I'm going to take the return. This will get us to the Major Aetheryte. Ethernet will take us to the Marauders Guild, and we'll be there. I've been in contact with Rainfried, and he had naught but praise for you, Kiara. Your representation of the guild has been exemplary. There is one more task I would have you complete this day, a task that will demonstrate for you just how strong you have become. Report to Skiffbrum where he awaits you on the banks of the Ageless River, and he shall help you unveil the untapped power of your axe. Oh, it's in Lower Lenoska somewhere. No, it's in Middle Lenoska. What the heck? Ah, there we go. Wanted to make sure I was going to the right spot first and foremost. He's gonna have us break that boulder, isn't he? Alas, I know why you're here. And after seeing this big old boulder, I wager you know what you're here to do. Or why you're here too. Now, my rock's a bit more of a challenge than those pebbles Roshgrims that had you training on. To crack this beauty will require a relatively heavy swing. Impossible, you say? Ha! Windsrun wouldn't send you here if he didn't think you're capable. Would you look at that? And on your first attempt, too. Well, I guess it's back to the Axe Master for you. Back to the Axe Master, indeed. Because we have now the ranged attack of the Marauder. I knew you'd return before long. The deafening crack of shattering boulder reached me even here. This feat of strength deserves recognition, and you shall have it in the form of a new technique, adopted and perfected by our guild forebears. The tomahawk throw was first devised by pirates as an opening attack on closing enemy vessels. Though we primarily focus on close quarter combat, you will no doubt find that having a powerful ranged strike at your disposal greatly expands your tactical versatility. I sense that the impending confrontation with Kujata weighs heavily on your mind, Kiara. But hurried swings lead to glancing blows. There's no swift road to attaining the peak mastery you seek, only a steadied, measured ascent. Tomahawk! And I'm going to take a moment to step away. I need to have a quick bio break and I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Time for yet another quest from you. Kara, there is trouble afoot. Do you recall the lad whose parents were slain by the beast Kujata? The boy's grandfather, Nedard, but recently contacted us with worrisome news. Young Sighard has gone missing. There have been sightings of Kujata in the area, and it would seem that the child felt compelled to seek the creature out. As you are familiar with the boy and his tragic tale, I would have you attend to this matter. My sister Sulkwib awaits you at the Bismarck. She has been appraised of the situation and will aid you in plotting a suitable course of action. Oh, you're at a restaurant. Kiara, I assume you're here to discuss the missing child. And not to sample a bowl of mutton stew. First things first, I would advise you against rushing off to peer under every rock in the countryside. We need more information to direct our search. I suggest we head to the Red Rooster stead and learn what more we can from old Nedard. That's a reasonable course of action. Are you sure we are related? Well, the Axemaster has been relatively having his head on straight compared to what you would expect. So let's go ahead and head right on over. Via Chocobo. Okay, where are you? In the building, okay. Thank the gods you're here. Seems me grandson is set on causing naught but trouble for you. But surely you know you're keen on how the lad is feeling, how his blood is with 8, how he's boiling with 8 for that murderous beast. And the last time, when you came along, like an avenging angel and showed him the strength of your steel, well, you lit a fire in his belly. He must have gotten in his head to take revenge on the beast himself, daft little bugger. Any road, since he heard Kujata's been spotted near airport, why, he shot through the door like an arrow from a bow, and I ain't seen him since. I beg of ye, find me little Sighard afore he gets himself stomped to death. That big bastard Aurochs has spilled more than enough of me kin's blood. Our course is clear. We must set out for Ailport at once. An old acquaintance of mine, I am not trying to pronounce that, often stands guard at the port gates. He might know something of the lad's whereabouts. See, we need to go to Middle Lenoska and then Western Lenoska to get to Ailport. What the... Oh. It's this one. This is what it looks like from a first-person perspective. Have I seen a boy wandering about by himself? As a matter of fact, me and my fellow gate guards here have just watched a young lad traipsing up off to the north. We're arguing whether or not to abandon our post to bring the child back ourselves. Large packs of jackals have been prowling the wilds of late. So if you mean to head after him, pray do so quickly, else I might even pass along word to the Marauders Guild. You'll be better off with an extra blade or two at your back. His water skin. satchel. Have you found any signs of Sigurd? Must be have been in a desperate hurry to cast away his belongings in such a careless manner. I myself came across this wood axe. A tool the lad took from the stead, perhaps? Gods below! Kira, over there! Kira. That's not going to be good for him. Step aside. Windthrone. He breathes yet. You withdraw to the Red Rooster stead. Follow me, Kiara. Not yet time for a confrontation with the beast. Where is that located? Lower Lenoska. Okay. getting close to the warrior job. We have now seen our foe. The mountainous beast that we will eventually slay. Now, it didn't happen with Paladin, but I wonder if it'll happen with Warrior. Gaining a mount specific to the class. You brought him home. I don't got the words to thank ye. The lad's past the worst of it. He struck his head in the fall, though, and it may be some time before he opens his eyes. Thank you for coming, brother. If you hadn't scattered those jackals when you did. I have done naught to earn your thanks. When I learned of the situation from Ailport, I realized the dangers were greater than I had anticipated. No single marauder could have hoped to fend off such numbers in time. Pray accept my apologies, Nedard. You turned to us for help, and yet your grandson now lies before you, broken and battered. You risked your lives to save little Sigurd. I was an old man to find fault with that. It's me who ought to be begging your forgiveness for the wounds you took protecting my foolish boy. You needn't concern yourself with our well-being. Our training prepares us for such eventualities. There's not more we can accomplish here, Kiara. It's time we returned to the guild and focused on other tasks. Could just return to Limsa, but it's not that far. I'll save it for probably the next one. Alright, let's hurry on over to the Marauders Guild. I am glad the lad will live, but I fear this will not be the last time Sigurd abandons caution in his thirst for vengeance against Kujata. The wound in his heart festers and seethes, feeding his impatience at our seeming inaction. But we must not think ill of the boy. Instead, let his helpless rage be a spur to our efforts. I say again, Kiara, Kujata will fall by your hand, and I will shape you into the deadliest weapon you need to be, or the deadly weapon you need to be. Alright, we have the level 25 quest. We are nearly there. Kiara, our near disastrous encounter with the pack that follows Kujata has been preying on my mind. The overwhelming number of the beasts was beyond what I had imagined. Even the most dedicated marauder could not hope to carve through that snarling wall of flesh. And if we cannot dispatch the pack, then Kujata remains beyond our reach. Thus I have prepared for you a trial that will unleash your deepest reserves of destructive strength. As before, Sulkwib awaits you at the Bismarck to guide you on your path. Do not squander this opportunity to grow, Kiara. The pride of the guild itself rides on the keen edge of your axe. So yeah, no pressure, right? The Bismarck is the Culinarians Guild. You've word for my brother? Huh. The pride of the guild, eh? My brother has placed quite a burden on your shoulders, it seems. But from what I have witnessed, if any marauder has the skill and determination to put down Kujata, then it is you. And there is, of course, the matter of Sigurd's vengeance. You don't want to disappoint the poor boy, now do you? Let us be about this trial, Kiara. I shall meet you at the Salt Strand in Lower Lanoska, where your training is to take place. Well, naturally, I will be there. Without me, you're like to forget to tend to your wounds and bleed to death. They even call out the tendency of a tank. That is just too perfect. I have to... You can't help but give them a round of applause on that. Well, this should be the place. I don't see... Ah, do you sense that? Encroaching aura of violence, Kiara? Pray, unnumber that axe of yours. That seems to be the last of them. Compared to what we have faced before, though, it wasn't terribly... So this is the indomitable Kiara Frostborn. Who in the seven hells are you? Wait, is that... We have deemed you worthy of our challenge. Come, Marauder. Let us test the edge of your steel. Oh, brother. It seems my underlings have provided you with poor sport. Very well, I shall take your measure with mine own blade. Do not think to show me quarter, Kiara, for I shall surely show you none. Okay, Guildmaster. Your strength has humbled us all. It might just be enough. We're done here, my colleagues. Drag away those who cannot stand. Your display of prowess was truly impressive, Kiara. Worthy indeed. What a ridiculous charade. I actually think we couldn't see through those paltry disguises. Though I am confident my brother's act was not born of malice. He hoped by concealing his identity that the trial would seem more threatening, thus increasing its effectiveness. Not an entirely successful undertaking, but one must appreciate his intentions. It is time we return to the guild. Oh, and as a favor from me, pray indulge Windsor in his little deception. Subterfuge is not a marauder's forte. And you thought Professor Kukui was the first one to do it. And there we go. Back to the city. Back to the Marauders. Kira, I have heard of your skirmish on the Salt Strand. You did well to topple opponents of such formidable skill. But let us not dwell on the nature of those mastering. What's important is your triumph in the face of overwhelming odds. Your fellow Marauders are honored to have you swing your axe in the guild's name. They stand behind you, one and all, as you prepare to overcome your greatest trial yet. Aye, the time has come for you to bring Kujata's bloody rampage to an end. When next he rears his horrible horned head, you shall be ready to bury your blade in his skull. We will get this and thirst for battle. Ooh. Kiara, your confrontation with the beast is at hand. Kujata has made his presence known. Reports say the Reports place the creature to the northeast of the Red Rooster's Stead, in the vicinity of the Grey Fleet. There is little more for me to say about this. Harness all the strength you have built throughout your labors of sweat and blood, and unleash it full fury upon Kujata and his menagerie of scavengers. Sigurd yet lies abed, trusting in your strength and praying for your victory. I ask that you go to the lad before the battle and tell him you venture forth to fell the object of his vengeance. Such news should cheer his ailing heart. The time has come, Kira Frostborn. May your axe strike deep and true. Alright, Red Rooster Stead is in Lower Lenoska. Kiara, I'm sorry for making trouble. No, I deserved what I got. It's my own fault for not believing in you. But you came back anyway. And now you're gonna take that axe to Kujata's head, ain't you? I know you can beat that bastard. You got to. Might be as I'm sticking my nose where it ain't wanted. But I couldn't abide the thought of you facing that monster solo. Kujata's got his friends, so it's only fair you got a couple too. And what are friends if not to lighten your load? I already did some of the groundwork for you. Seems like a farmer and his Wayne have fallen victim to the fiend's pack. And if we follow the trail of destruction, it might just lead us to the big bugger himself. I heard Kujata reared his ugly head again, and reckoned you'd not be too far behind. I hope you won't object to me lending what aid I can. We've been through much, you and I, and I would see this tale to its end. Bronabar, well, he felt much the same. So here we are. A pack of 2 to offset the ravenous beasts that follow in Kujata's wake. Find a pot that appears to have been dragged from the farmer's wain. I didn't mean to bump the move buttons. A fruit barrel? Find a barrel that appears to have been... Scavengers. Crate. Level sync time. There he is. Kiara! It appears our timing was fortuitous. The Axemaster carried me here so I could see. You did it. You really did it. You see? Kiara killed the bastard. He's finally dead. Thank you. Thank all of you. Kiara, do you reckon I could learn to swing an axe like that? When I was bigger, I mean. I want to protect folk, too. Keep them safe from, you know, monsters and things. If you train hard, and then naught is beyond your reach, young man. Then that's what I'll do. I'll train every single day. You'll see. I'll be the strongest hero there ever was. Well, we get to talk to our friends. Let's get you out of the way. It's done, Kiara. You have answered the boys' prayers and upheld the pride of the guild. Hold your head high, Marauder. I shall be awaiting your triumphant return to Limsalamosa. I saw with my own eyes, and I can still scarce believe it. You brought down the mountain. Well done, Kiara. I knew from the first moment we met that you would rise to meet any challenge. And there we have it. The beast is felled. The Marauder's path has been completed. But we're not done yet. Because after the Marauder comes the Warrior. That was truly a mighty feat, Kiara. Never have I seen a Marauder so dedicated to attaining the pinnacle of her discipline. In recognition of your achievements, I, Axemaster Winesrin, pass on to you our guild's final technique, the thrill of battle. This skill teaches you to embrace the fear and danger of combat, allowing you to push well beyond the normal limits of your stamina. Though the thought brings me both joy and sadness, there is not more I can teach you. May the memories of your time here at the guild sustain you as you travel or as you strive for even greater heights of perfection. Experience now shall be your tutor. There will always be greater foes and deadlier challenges on which to test your blade. Of that I am certain. You enter a realm of our craft, which even I have never set foot up. I only hope that when you reach the very boundaries of your art, you'll return to share your triumphs with us. Until then, Kira, may your axe ever swing true. I have so many axes to sell, though. And now, we begin. There's no sign of that, though. Maybe it's after we get the job crystal. Kiara. Just the woman I was hoping to see. Aye, it's plain as day that you have no equal in our guild. I have a task that I'd entrust to no ordinary marauder. To wit, I just received a message from an old comrade in arms of mine who now serves as a guardsman at Costa del Sol. It would seem the fighting's grown fiercer in those parts, and he finds himself in dire need of reinforcements. Mind you, this man is no white-livered whelp. He can wield an axe with the best of 'em, as evidenced by Master Grigori's pay and good gold for the services of he and his men. No, any enemy who could fluster that bunch is not one to be trifled with. I sent Skulkwib on ahead of you to tend to the wounded. Seek her out upon your arrival. She'll appraise you of the situation at hand. Alright, for this we're going to I guess you can call it cheating a little bit. We're going to take the ferry over to where it is situated. Fortigil. Kiara, ever the sight for sore eyes? A nasty bale of turtles has been preying upon the area of late, snapping and gnashing at everything in sight. Why, even the best men that Master could buy find themselves no match for the creatures. Word has it that the beasts have been sighted swimming in from the lightly guarded northern shore. I would send you there to investigate the cause behind their burgeoning numbers. That's just a level mate, or levy mate. Northern shores, she said. I hope my stomach is not audible on the stream. Ugh, damn it all, Kiara. We must see to these beasts. Yes, we must. Why are you getting so close to them? Seven L's. There's no end to them. Prepare to fall back. I'll send the shellback. Or I'll see to the shellbacks. You whelps try not to end up as turtle grub. That axe. I've not seen its like in... Kiara, we must do what we can. That should send them scuttling back to their nests. When you can call me curious, George. One remark about the name, and I'll rip your ugly heads from your shoulders and suck the marrow out of your twitching spines. You two are guards from Costa del Sol, I reckon. Not as such. We are of the Marauders Guild, sent here by Axemaster Winsrun to assist in the defense. I am Skullquib, and this is my comrade, Kiara. From the guild, you say? Well, blow me down and call me a bogey. Had you told me sooner, I'd introduced myself with proper respect. You're Kiara, right? We've only just met, but I see in your strength, not found in ordinary woman. What say you unleash the beasts within and come a warrior with me? A warrior, you say? So it was you I saw brandishing battle techniques I had thought lost to the sands of time? Lost? Perhaps in these parts, but where I come from, the way of the warrior is alive and well. My tribe's been handing them down for thousands of years. Yet our numbers dwindle with every new summer. And this is why I left the mountain where I was raised to come here. What say you, Kiara? If you would walk the path of the warrior with me, seek me out at Hidden Falls. The warriors of old. I have heard their tales, but never once did I dream that I would meet one in the flesh. My memory is cloudy, but many years ago it was said that there was a young marauder in the company of heroes who would unleash crushing blows, therefore unseen by his comrades. When the company disbanded, he vanished, never to be seen again. Might that be this curious George? I cannot vouch for the man's identity, but there can be no denying the display of strength we saw today, nor that he has taken a liking to you, Kiara. This could be an opportunity for the ages. Hidden Falls, was it? Were I in U-boots, I would head off there without delay. From Marauder to Warrior. From Gladiator to Paladin. I knew you would come, Kiara. Let us begin. Any woman can take up the axe and call herself a marauder, but to become a true warrior, she must prove she can tame the inner beast that guides the blade. I witnessed your battle with the turtles, and I must say I was impressed. You have proven yourself far more worthy of this than I could have imagined. In your hands lies the soul of the warrior, a crystal within which the deeds of 1,000 warriors from history are recorded. For countless generations, the soul has been passed on to those of my tribe who choose the path of the warrior, to guide them and aid them in their journey. When your inner beast awakens, the runes will resonate, further empowering your will and granting you such strength as you never thought possible. Today there is cause for celebration, my friend, for through you I have ensured that my tribe's legacy will endure. Yes, it is from this day, this moment, that I came down from the mountain. Yet, however earnestly I pursue my goal, I cannot deny that the fear inside me that my mission will ultimately end in failure. For you see, while I may style myself a warrior, truth is that I left the mountains before my training was complete. And while I carry with me the chronicles of my ancestors detailing the ancient arts of war, I lack the ability to fully decipher the texts. Yet there may still be hope. For there is another who fled my village, one who shared my dream of passing on the teachings of my tribe, and can read the tome. My brother. Without him, I fear there is little more I can teach you at this time, but that will not discourage me from continuing my studies of the Chronicle, nor shake my belief that further secrets will soon reveal themselves to me. Until then, I ask that you use the knowledge I've passed on to you, and continue your training. You must strive to harden your will, so that it may endure the strain of future burdens. Good luck, my friend. Warriors unlocked. Welcome back, my friend. You can see that you've not neglected your training. For my part, I fear that deciphering the ancient chronicles of my people is proving to be a bit more demanding than I had imagined. Mind you, it hasn't helped that I've been somewhat preoccupied of late. A comrade of mine from my days in the company of heroes asked me to do a favor. And that's taken me back and forth across the realm like some bloody fairy. I'm on the hunt for some mysterious feral beast that's been terrorizing small folk. People don't know where this monstrosity came from, but witnesses say its thirst for blood is unlike anything they've ever seen. Unfortunately, the time I've spent in pursuit of a beast is time I've not been... Sorry about that. It's time I've not been studying the Chronicle. And I'm sorry to say I've made little progress. However, while on the road, I was able to decipher one passage that may be of interest to us both. From what I can gather, the Chronicle tells of an ancient set of armor forged by my ancestors in the flames of the seven hells, and inscribed with the same arcane incantations that adorn the soul of the warrior. It would seem that this mighty armor was passed down from hero to apprentice for centuries, until one man, driven by rage and vainglory, cast all 5 pieces from Albenthia's highest peak. Since that day, the armor has remained lost, and with it, the power that it harbors. As far as I can make out, the next passage in this chronicle concerns the whereabouts of these missing artifacts. I've only been able to make sense of the odd word this far. Still, I must confess to some excitement. Imagine what a warrior clad in such a garb could achieve. Ah, if only my brother was here. We could decipher the text together and spread the teachings of our people, the entire realm. Alas, he is not. His whereabouts are as hidden to me as those of the ancient armor. I would have liked you to meet him, if only that you could have looked upon a true warrior. Well, perhaps you shall. Yours is not as large as most people perceive. Paths cross, fates intertwine. Such is the will of the spinner. It may be that my brother has chosen a similar path to mine, but I have rambled long enough. You're here to take the next steps in your training, and so shall I oblige. In the southern reaches of Theoden, there is the Sangreal Desert, a god's forsaken wasteland of naught but sand that stretches as far as the eye can see. It is here that a leviathan of the dunes lurks, a sandworm of gargantuan proportions. When facing this mammoth creature, you will soon realize that the feeble hacks and slashes of your puny axe are ill-suited for the task of felling such a foe. But do not let this dissuade you. Wake the slumbering beast within, and summon forth a strength that transcends the limits of your physical form. Mind you, you'll first have to find the beast, and that may prove a tall order in itself. You tribe that inhabits the Forgotten Springs is wise in the movements of the denizens of the desert. Should you want for guidance, I'd wager they could set you on the right path, or in the right direction. I grabbed a couple of glamour prisms from my Chocobo saddlebag. Let's take this moment to sell a lot of axes. And off we go. We have to go to Central first, and then go to Southern. Fortunately, the use of flight leads us to not having to encounter any enemies at all. Avoiding any pitfalls and many of the delaying situations that come with terrain. Poor Chocobo's having a tough time staying in the air, though. Here we are, Southern Thailand. Oh. Right, the faction quests for the Sahuagin and Omaja. Okay. The Leviathan of the Dunes. Saw the fearsome bugger not a week ago, preying on a group of merchants south of Brigard Strike. Smart ones dropped their wares, turned tail and ran. Dumb ones, well, at least they can say they died rich. So in the building. I've seen the beast. Stands 3 moms high, he does, and stirs up sandstorms with each writhe and wriggle. Showed up at in my hunting field some years ago. Has been swallowing up my would-be prey in that gaping maw of his ever since. Sandworms are particularly sensitive to vibrations in the earth, such as those made by running. If you're looking to summon one of the beasts, then I suggest you search for their tracks. Then, run about making as much clamor as possible. I'd also suggest you seek a cure for your madness. Here we go. Alright, so we report to Curious George. some shake things decide to undo the shake after so long, I guess. I didn't need to... That was on me. That was on me. Alright, Costa del Sol. Let's take a look at my armor chest real quick. Alright, I won't run out of room before this. I need a quick bio break, so I will be stepping away for just a moment. And I'm back, sorry about that. I'm staying hydrated at least, so there's that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to the quest. And to check a few things. Hi, monkey. Or chimpanzee. Ah, Kiara. Your crystal grows ever stronger. In filling the raging sandworm, the beast within you is slowly but surely rouses to wakefulness. When you next do battle, methinks you will find yourself capable of movements heretofore unfamiliar to you. When you have mastered your new talent, return to me in the meanwhile, I shall continue my study of the ancient text. Inner Beast. Beast Gauge. Current strength of the warrior's wrath. Animalistic rage required to execute several select actions such as Inner Beast and Steel Cyclone, and will grow weaker upon using them. And certain actions will increase the beast gauge. Defiance should still be active. Okay, so that indicates that Defiance is active. Mithril Tempest. Accept. Hello again, my friend. It's quite obvious that you have been anything but idle in your training since last we met. Your progress is heartening to look upon, truly. But it also serves to remind me that each hour I spend poring over ancient text is an hour not spent honing my skills. I fear my worth on the battlefield is diminishing by the day. Yet I am certain that my studies of the Chronicle will yield something of use. In fact, just last night I discovered how the warriors of my tribe came to be shunned by the outside world. Upon witnessing my people's prowess with the axe, the armies of the city-states began to cooperate incorporate similar techniques into their own training regiments. These are the self-same techniques I believe I've been instructing you in, Kiara. Ones which call upon the inner beast. The consequences, of course, were dire. Yes, these soldiers became nigh unstoppable, but they also... Oh no, what the heck? Twitch is deciding to act up. Please still be effective. Please. Nigh unstoppable, but they became wholly uncontrollable. And both friends and foe fell prey to their ensuing carnage. Of course, these heads of city-states laid blame for these atrocities solely on the feet of my kind. Okay, still fine. Promptly banning the ancient art and imprisoning anyone suspected of teaching it, or so the Chronicle says. What I find hard to grasp, though, is that never once in my training did my brother hint at this dark history, nor have I myself ever seen one of my tribe succumb to the rage that the Chronicle describe. Could it be that the tales are mere falsehoods? Stories concocted by some long-forgotten enemy who would poison our heritage and befoul our tribe's name? Who in their right mind would seek to sully something so pure? And why would my ancestors simply bow their heads and suffer such ignominy? That my people should be so weak, so utterly bereft of pride, is inexplicable. I refuse to believe it. Matters not if these claims are groundless. If they prompted my tribe's art to fade to obscurity, then the damage has already been done. Well, I, for one, will not turn a blind eye to this injustice. If none of my people will give the lie to the stories that have so tarnished our reputation, then it'll have to be me. I need to get some more drink in me. Hydration. But once again I lose myself in history and forget the present. If you will recall, I spoke to you of my former comrade from the Company of Heroes, the great woolly beast we have been pursuing. The beast remains on the loose, and to toss up ponds of salt in the wounds. Fell creatures that appeared to be its minions have been wreaking havoc on the innocent residents of Wineport. Were you and I to succeed in quelling the threat, surely the people would see that warriors are no fearsome beasts, but valuable allies. Together, Kiara, we will win back our proud name. Now, let us away to Wineport to meet with the captain of the militia. My friends, Wineport is much obliged for your aid. The fiends come relentlessly, and what few able-bodied men we have find themselves hopelessly overmatched. Indeed, the western gates have been so besieged that they are currently left without any manned defense. Leave those defenses to us, my good man. I will secure the western gate. Kiara, you defend the town from the east. Together, we will form a bulwark that not a single fiend can penetrate. Once the enemy has been driven back, we return here to back up the captain. Got it, Kiara? more of them. And here we go. Another group of enemies felled. If anyone had typed in the chat for a bit, there's a bit of an issue that had cropped up. Thank the 12 you're safe. We have need of your skills yet. I just heard a scream, and I fear that one of the beasts might be loose within the village. Come with me. You monster! Get away! Get away! Monster? But I... Come no closer, Kiara. I beg of you. I must return to the falls. Never has gotten into Curious George. 'Tis true that he fought like a man possessed, but to mistake him for the very beasts he hunts? He thinks the child's parents have been feeding her a few too many ghost stories for her own good. Worry not, friend. I shall speak with the villagers and clear up this most unfortunate misunderstanding. Do return to the falls and assure Curious George that Wineport is indebted to him for his aid. Yeah. Scared child's a mean thing. Worse because of the whole stigma with warriors. Definitely a berserker type of thing. Here, please forgive me for leaving so abruptly earlier. It was a hasty reaction to a situation for which I was completely unprepared. Well, both you and I know that I was in complete control of my inner beasts. I now realize that to the layman's eye it may have seemed that, well, the opposite was true. Mayhap it was this very misapprehension that lent weight to the lies which led my tribes to disgrace. And if that's the case, then perhaps I should return once more to the Chronicles and endeavor to reassess their message in light of this new discovery. Speaking of light, your soul crystal, Kiara, it sparkles. Does the soul of the warrior have aught to reveal to you? Any whispers of import? If only they hadn't forsaken me as they did my brother. Yes, well, I suppose that is that. I must continue my studies and you your training. I hope to have something new for both of us very soon. Until then, my friend. Mithril Tempest, another AoE combo. Action Lord Storm's Eye as well. Okay, I need to check that. Combo with Maim. Maim is the second one. Goes Storm's Path. Grants Surging Tempest, increasing damage dealt by 10%. Extends Surging Tempest duration 30 seconds combo. Increase beast gauge by 10. So also need to grab Tomahawk. Let's put that in here. There we go. That's a good lineup. Ancient Relics. Welcome again, my friend. I was wondering when your travels would bring you back this way. It just so happens that I have some exciting news. I have finally uncovered the clues pertaining to the whereabouts of the lost armor of my ancestors. As it turns out, after the fallen hero cast the 5 pieces from the mountaintop, 5 of his pupils set out to recover them, intending to restore their master's name. What is more, they were actually successful in their search. However, when it came to reuniting the set, the armor's great power began to work upon their minds, and not one could bring himself to relinquish his piece. Realizing that their master's fatal pride was born of the artifact's combined influence, the pupils resolved to keep the pieces separate and to share between the 5 the power that might otherwise have consumed one. Thus did each of them carve his own place in history. Chronicles go on to say that years later, prior to death, each of the pupils returned to the scene of his own greatest victory and buried the artifact in his possession in a final attempt to prevent any one warrior from holding the set. And it is there that the pieces still rest. You may be interested to know that the armor I wear is itself a replica of the set created by my ancestors, identical in all respects save for its lack of the arcane enchantments that adorned the original. I know what you might be thinking. If we were to bring the 5 pieces together once more, what would prevent us from being corrupted in the same fashion? Well, I've thought of that. What we need only do is trace the runes we find on the armor into every piece of warrior here. That way, there would be no need to worry about a single proud fool becoming drunk on his all-surpassing power, as every warrior in the realm would be possessed of the selfsame might. It's quite brilliant if I do say so myself. So, how about we split up and begin the search straight away? 3 of the locations seem quite self-evident. I'd entrust the search there to you while I track down the other 2 with tome in hand. One piece is said to be buried under the greatest rocks of the Boulder Downs in Corthus, while another slumbers peacefully encamped tranquil in the South Shroud. The last of the 3 rests untouched in Patara's Peace in Western Thailand. Unearth these 3 relics and bring them to me. With any measure of fortune, I'll have tracked down the remaining 2 by the time you return. Okay, now, we're in Western Thailand, right? Oh no, Western Thailand is that one. Ah, crap. I got lost. old wooden treasure chest. Hostile presence. I am convinced that these are tied to the whole mess. The behemoth. Okay, we need to get to Southern Shroud. Oh, that's Mordona. I guess I'll go to Corthus first. Okay. There we go. There we go. They were annoying. Where is this hostile presence supposed to be? Oh, there you are. There we go. Next is Southern Thailand, and why is my... It's Google Chrome that's doing it. My page of the stream manager is just deciding not to function. This is why I said I might have missed messages previously. Alright. Now I need to go to South Shroud at Camp Tranquil. Okay. And here we go. I know what I'll have for lunch. I'll have cantaloupe for lunch. I looked away for a second and I was already past where I needed to go. And and now we go back to the falls, talk to George again. But at the same time, do they show up? Oh, they are. Ethernet, Fisherman's Guild. How fares your search, Kiara? Have you found aught of my tribe's ancient relics? Should you have the 30 pieces of armor, don them and show them to me. Ah, Kiara, you found the gear that you found the gear is most gratifying. I need to refresh Twitch again. What the heck? But what I would truly fancy would be to see you. What? Wait. Stand still for a moment. Now it becomes you so much that I could not tell that you had it on at first glance. But now I can have no doubt. I sense the power of the runes inscribed in each piece resonating with your soul crystal. This is the long-lost armor of the warrior. I too have found one of the relics, but I have run into an inexplicable rub. When I donned the piece, I felt nothing, as if the lost treasure were no different from the unadorned replicas already in my possession. Whether the power has truly been lost to it, or must needs be awakened by means yet unknown to me, I cannot say. The ancient text still holds many mysteries beyond my ability to decipher. But before I forget, I should mention to you that I did indeed track down another piece before I was waylaid by this current conundrum. You should find it sealed away at Red Mantis Falls. Oh? That's not far from here. The Red Mantis of Red Mantis Falls. Come on. Relic armor. And let me know if you can think of any game you want to see me play in the future. I really do want to know what your opinions are as to what I should play. I see your search was a fruitful one. I'm pleased to say I have also gleaned some insight as to why the armor I found seemed devoid of power. As I alluded to, the ancient warrior's armor derives its power from a concordance between the incantations engraved onto the steel itself and the inner beast of the wearer. But my own resonance with the plating was too weak to allow a proper connection with it, and now I think I know why. My soul crystal, it once burned bright like yours, but since the events at Wineport, it has been reduced into a lifeless husk. Why this happened, I cannot say, but the tome is quite clear about what would happen were the powers of the armor to be bestowed onto one whose soul is weak. the inner beast would devour the mind of the wearer, who would go on a mindless rampage that would end only with the mercy of death. Wait a minute. Yes, unlike the crazed fiends we battle. I believe that the armor sensed my weakened state, foresaw the potential danger, and then knowingly shut off its power to me. And I dare say we are fortunate that it did. Yes, I feel as though an apology is in order at this junction. I must tell you that I left this final piece of armor where I found it. The breastplate, as the piece closest to the warrior's heart, has powers far greater and more dangerous than the other pieces. Uncertain as I was to the reason for my being unable to connect with the blade's mystical energy, I feared to take it would mean imperiling both myself and those around me. Your soul may burn stronger than mine, yet still I worry for your fate were you to put it on. Look deep within yourself, Kiara. When you feel yourself ready, and only then, come speak to me again. You would truly seek the ultimate relic of my people? The armor that could consume the very soul of the most puissant warrior. Very well. If you are truly convinced of your readiness, I will not be the one to stand in your way. But I beg of you, Kiara, the moment you feel yourself losing control of your inner beast, inner beast overcoming you, cast the armor aside, cast it from the highest mountain, or into the depths of the ocean. I care not. For once the beast consumes your soul, there is no going back. It will rage on a monster, leaving naught but carnage in your wake. The realm will bleed and history will repeat itself. I cannot allow this to happen. No. My people have been shunned long enough. I would see the coming of a new age in which warriors protect the weak and are loved and admired by the people of the realm. Seriously, Twitch, you're doing this to me? I don't know. Chromebook is deciding it wants to die, I guess. No, I could, am admired by the people of the realm. My years of battle and sleepless nights have spent poring over the ancient texts. All has been for this day. Brother, I know not where fate has led you, and yet I feel certain that, in spirit, you stand with me today. Together, we will restore the honor of our people. You must forgive my sentiment, Kiara. As I said, this has been a long time coming. The breastplate you seek is in the highlands of Corythus, at the spring they call the Weeping Saint. I will stay behind. The events at Wineport still weigh heavy on my heart. So it's back to Corthus. Seriously. Okay. Corthus Highlands. We need to go to Mordona and then continue on. Okay. Okay, Corthus Highlands. We're going to the Saint's Tears. Or the Weeping Saint, or whichever it's called. We went there previously for a main story quest where we saved someone. And there we go. Enemy defeated. Hand over the breastplate, Kiara. After much wrestling with the thought, I simply cannot entrust such a relic to an outsider who may be overwhelmed by its power. I return now to the Hidden Falls. If you would have words with me, then come. I will not run away. Ethernet fissures. Costa Thistle. Kiara, I'm sorry. I did not mean for things to happen like this, but I had no choice. I have wrestled long and hard with the matter, but this is my decision. I cannot trust you with this power when I do not even trust myself. That's right. I won't attempt to don the plate again, either. Nor will anyone. Not until I have proof that there is one with a will strong enough to withstand the beast's siren call. Peer deep within yourself, soul Kiara. Peer into the eyes of the beast that stares back at you. Can you truly say that you can engage the monster in battle and emerge victorious? I shall return to the tome. If there are any answers to be found, they lie within those pages. In the meantime, continue your training. You might find an answer of your own. I don't know why I have to keep refreshing the Twitch page of my stream manager. But we got Steel Cyclone. Let's check that out. Good job, Steel Cyclone. Anyway. And it's down again. What the hell? Kiara! There is much we must discuss, but now is not the time. You surely recall my mention of the hunt for the bloodthirsty creature terrorizing the small folk. I've just received word that self-same monster has been sighted near Wineport. What's more, according to those who managed to escape the carnage, the creature appeared more man than beast. If this is true, then hang on. If this is true, then our quarry could be far more dangerous than any wild animal. We must find a way to stop it. I must find a way. This is my chance to prove to the people of Wineport, nay, to the world, that my tribe and my art have been wrongfully judged. Perhaps then my ancestors would deem me worthy. I think even my brother would too. There is no time to lose. We must arrive at the hamlet before any of the villagers fall prey to the beast. Let us leave at once. Let's hope this time it doesn't do that issue. Okay. So far so good. But hey, I've been going for 3 hours and 17 minutes. Level sync to my exact current level. No, it did it. It's either Twitch acting up or it's my Chromebook being a Chromebook. Thank the gods for your presence. Wineport is in your debt once more. Fell creatures bear down upon our village in hordes, as if drawn by that great hairy beast. You must stop them. Kiara, you fend off these creatures. I will see to the beast. This is my battle to fight. It's the monster! It's the beast! Run for your lives! Stop! These people are not your enemy. The enemy lies within. You are stronger than this. Take control of the beast. Do not let it consume you. Brother! Look what you're doing. You are destroying all that I have worked to restore. The fate of our people rests in our hands, brother. Your weakness would cost us everything. I cannot let that happen. I will not. Our ancestors have chosen me to lead our people to glory, and no one shall stop me. No one. No one. No one. It was I who unlocked the secrets of the Chronicles. I who trained you in their ways. I who uncovered the location of the legendary artifacts. I who defeated my tribe's greatest warrior. I am the master now. I am the master. Return to me what is rightfully mine. Give me the armor. He put the breastplate on. Or shall I tear it from your bloody corpse? Oh no. I'm not sure what mechanic these would have. That was too easy to be how it was supposed to go. I have failed. I failed you. I failed my people. I failed my ancestors. And I failed my own kin. I found out long ago what had become of my brother. I did everything I could to deny it. I thought that if only I could prove myself stronger than he, the people would see his madness as the product of a weak mind, that they would believe the problem lay in him, not in our tribe. Yet, all the while, my own soul was growing weaker and weaker. The inner beast had taken hold, and it would not let go. It drove me as it drove my ancestors, the keeper of the armor, and my brother. Our tribe had lost sight of who we were, in seeking even ever more strength. We allowed ourselves to fall victim to that which we had long scorned in others as weakness. Instead of learning to harden our wills with resolve, we steeled them with anger, and therein lie our folly. Like a bonfire, anger burns hot and bright, but when the fuel that feeds it is spent, all that remains is ash. By accepting anger as our guide, we left our wills at the mercy of the inner beast. But not you. Your will is more akin to the lava which courses through the mountains of my homeland. It burns as strong, nay, stronger than any bonfire. And when it cools, it becomes hard and firm, unbreakable. This quality allows you to keep your inner beast at bay. My people were once as you are now, Kiara. And I believe that is why my ancestors chose to speak to you. They sensed true strength within you. Such strength that could rightly represent our people and our art. Had I but realized that myself, none of this need have happened. Well, what's done is done. If I'm to have any hope of restoring my people's name, I must start over from the beginning. And this time, I mustn't try to do it alone. It may take time, but together my brother and I will restore our village to its former glory. And when we have, I shall remember Kiara, my friend and fellow warrior, and how she saved me from myself, that my dream might become reality. Warriors of ages past have borne witness to your bond with Curious George. Okay. There it is. Wineport is in your debt once more, Kiara. And what's more, we have seen the truth with our own eyes. Pray tell Curious George as much. And that we might be relying on him for his protection. He is a true warrior, and our humble hamlet would be lost without his strength. Welcome back, Kiara. Despite all that transpired, the captain at Wineport would entrust his village's defense to me? I know not what to say. It has been a long road, but thanks to you I have rediscovered what I lost so many years ago. I will see to my brother's wounds, and once he is well, we will embark on the path of the warrior again, engraving the lessons we have learned in our souls, never to be forgotten. Curiously, the moment I did avow this to myself, my soul crystal began to shimmer anew. I see yours too grow stronger than ever. It would seem my ancestors have once more bestowed their knowledge upon you. This power. Why, this is a power that I have only read about in the tomes. Nay, power entirely beyond my comprehension. To think that I once doubted your resolve. Nay, I know. You have truly conquered your inner beast and become a truer warrior than I could ever hope to be. Know that you stand before me the equal to my tribe's greatest heroes. Ever steel your resolve, Kiara, and go forth into the realm and protect those who need your strength. With you representing us, the redemption of my people, the new era I seek is surely close at hand. This concludes the warrior's quest. But before we do, let us take a moment going back to Limsalamosa and take a look at our new armor. Here it is, the warrior armor. But, as we have learned previously, there lies a greater form of it. We have the fighter's armor, but here's the warrior's armor. Bloodied and darkened, the axe-wielding warrior's armor. But our tale does not end here. This is only the third class The third job we have mastered. Next will be the rogue. I still have some leveling to do for that one. And then the arcanist. So, with this armor now acquired, let's call it and end this here today. It has been a wonderful stream. A slightly longer than usual stream. And I hope you have enjoyed it. Without further ado, if you're watching this on YouTube, drop a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Hit the bell for notifications. I stream when I stream. And I upload the VODs YouTube the day after. And if you're here on Twitch, drop a follow. Hopefully Twitch isn't acting up on anyone else's PCs. But if you're on YouTube, check out this video that YouTube thinks you'll like. Or if you enjoy my content, check out this playlist where I have uploaded several videos. But without further ado, that's it for today. Have a good one, everyone.